grief or a challenging time in their life?
You know, I think it's okay to just be in touch with your emotions and to not be afraid of them.
Let's talk about something that has been going on in the background and that the show hasn't fully explained yet, but we can feel it in the middle of the family turmoil. It gets deeper and more complicated than most people assume. Robin is at the core of it all. If you've been paying attention, you probably noticed that Robin was really determined to keep Mary around. That's because, and it's not just love between sisters. In old-fashioned polygamist homes, it's not all. In fact, a big, happy family. Robin's childhood was very different. Her father had a lot of wives, but they didn't spend much time together. He would celebrate big holidays, Christmas with one wife, and the others would celebrate on their own later. That kind of disconnect was normal. Robin thought that when she joined Kody's family, things would be more normal and the spouses would mostly stay out of each other's business. But what she walked into was a room full of mothers who had worked together to raise their children, and the feeling of being part of a group rocked her. Robin likes to talk a lot about their trip to Las Vegas while calling it a lovely time of year. But let's just say that Janelle, Mary, and Christine remember things differently. For them, Vegas was when the rest of the family started to break apart. At that point, Robin and the kids officially started to pull away from everyone else. Her push to keep Mary close. When you look at the interaction with Robin, everything starts to make sense. The perfect sister wife was a lady like Mary, someone Kody had already emotionally let go of, someone who largely kept to themselves, didn't pose a threat, and nonetheless brought in money to help the family, cash, giving Robin a little more freedom to do what she wanted, and, more importantly, someone she could control when she needed to. There are no other strong sister wives around, so there is no comparison or competition. That means Robin gets more of Kody's time, attention, and approval now that he's not envious. Oh, it's definitely a part of the equation. Robin showed a lot of it, especially toward Christine. A lot of fans think she slowly pushed Christine away from Kody over the years, but Janelle, that's a whole different story. Robin never did get Janelle to agree. Janelle has always been the one that stays calm, the realistic one that cares a lot about the family as a whole. She didn't get caught up in the power struggle. And then, when Janelle eventually realized she wasn't getting her fair share, especially when Robin got her dream home and Janelle didn't, it was a really painful betrayal. Betrayal. But Janelle isn't an easy target. She's smart. She knows how to get on Kody's nerves, and she accomplishes it in a way that is both subtle and strong. Just remember when she asked about Mary's divorce and Robin's marriage to Kody. She wasn't simply asking for fun. She was talking about how the family's power structure was changing, and Robin, she didn't know what to say. Janelle also wasn't scared to suggest some really awful things, not by throwing around labels or anything, but it's still evident enough for people who are listening. When it matters, she doesn't beat about the bush. And don't miss the part on RVs. Robin lived in a big house, but Janelle chose to live in an RV on Coyote Pass to keep working toward her goal of owning her own home. Kody and Robin's priorities became clearer to them because of her humility and simple way of living. Do you remember that time when the luggage got broken? When Janelle smiled with approval, that was all the answer I needed. It was a little win, but it was still a big one. She also had a way of reminding Mary of what was real and how to get her to play along when Robin wanted her to. Mary wasn't a bad ex. She was the standard by which Robin judged her own success. And of course, money had a role in all of this as well. Robin might think she won, but come on, Kody. The catch that the other wives seem to have made is very plain. That's it for them. And for someone like Robin, who seems to thrive on being the chosen one, that must hurt. Let's talk about the trip Kody lured Robin on, and being the chosen one has done Robin a lot of harm. It gave Robin more than just bragging rights. It was a real confidence booster. Lastly, she wasn't just the second or third pick of someone. She was the wife, but this is the thing. Robin didn't want to live the big family life every day. Of course, she liked the idea of a close-knit family, but only when it was good for her. You know, family news, Christmas cards, and days when TLC filmed. In real life, though, there was only Robin, her kids, and Kody. Everyone else was in the background noise group. There was even thought. Robin's offer to be a surrogate for Mary at one point seems like it was for her own good. It doesn't, does it? But other people say she simply did this because she knew Kody would never agree to it. If she told him about it ahead of time or just used it as a narrative, one thing is fairly evident. Deep down, Robin never really thought she would be able to carry Mary's baby. Mary might have even known it was all a lie. Now, let's switch gears and talk about money. Kody and Robin shouldn't get $1 from the older kids or the 3 wives, since it's just silly. Now Kody is complaining that Janelle, Christine, and Mary aren't giving Robin's 2 youngest kids any money. Come on, give them one strong reason why they should, even though they've already done more than their fair share. And in the meantime, Robin and Kody have a lot of stuff they could sell. Things were that bad. There are paintings, small things, and other things. Kody has a lot of pricey watches, Robin's piles of expensive jewels, and don't even get me started on her famous collection of dolls. Yes, plenty and plenty of dolls. And here's the kicker. The family fund gave them most of the money when they sold part of the Coyote Pass land. Yes, that means Mary and Janelle put money into it. Not so much Robin and Kody. But who made the most money when it came in? So, no, don't knock on Janelle or Christine's door and beg them to assist you pay your debts. They've already given up a lot. And don't forget the story about Isabel's operation. Christine got to take their daughter to a big surgery without Kody. The doctors and nurses kept telling her, "Your dad will be here soon." And Christine had to gently explain that he wasn't coming. She was heartbroken. Christine was Isabel's daddy. She did good, but Isabel deserved better. And Kody didn't pay a single cent toward that procedure. So why should anyone feel sorry for him? Christine had to go to court to get him to pay child support on time for Truly and those older kids. They spent hard hours on that show before Robin's kids were even born. What did they get in return? There isn't much to say about who is stepping up to help, but Christine and David are acting like responsible adults. Kody still thinks the world owes him something just because he's Kody Brown. Kody needs to wake up, stand up for himself, and act like a grown-up. Maybe he might start by helping Robin stop spending so much money, because those dolls aren't going to pay the mortgage. Instead, he relies on everyone else, especially the ladies he dumped to clean up after him. I can't believe it. What actually bothers people is people.
My Achilles heel is my kids. I'm going to be super emotional when it comes to my kids. It's just that one place that just gets me every time.
Kody and Robin say they can't afford to take care of their 2 youngest kids, despite living in a $1 million home and giving away beautiful jewels like candy. If you can afford a gorgeous house, expensive toys, and another ATV, then paying for your own kids shouldn't be an issue. Instead of looking in the mirror, Kody and Robin are pointing fingers at everyone else and blaming the family for the kids' loneliness. Come on. For years, they've been driving Saul and Ari away from the rest of the family, and now it's up to everyone else to fill that gap. And of course, they're still angry at Christine for what? Filing for help with childcare. That's true. Christine had the nerve to ask Kody to help his own son. Shocking in terms of money. And in the meantime, Yogi 13, those kids from Kody's first 2 marriages were getting by in the same way. They didn't have a lot of money, but they made do. Saul and Ari, who have been on TV and lived in luxury, are shown as the victims. They didn't have personal nannies as they do in private school. Now, let's not forget what Kody says about it all. He always has a reason. It's not his fault. But when Sister Wives ends, which it probably will after the next season, it will be interesting to see how he and Robin kept up their high-flying lifestyle. Christine, Janelle, and Mary all have jobs now, so don't read this if you don't want to know. They started their own enterprises, and none of their money comes from Robin's. Kids are autonomous, which is more than you can say about Kody's situation right now. Let's make things easy. Let's imagine you got back together with one of your exes. You never got married, but you did ask them, "Hey, can you pay for the kids I adopted with my current spouse?" That's how Kody is thinking right now. It's crazy, and the kids give up their own hopes and goals. Robin isn't getting help from ladies, so she can't go to college or get married. Kody basically left the house. It's the same old game of blame. Kody and Robin never do anything wrong. Over here, Saul and Ari get to go to private school, get the best medical care, have a ton of toys, and be loved by everyone. Robin's elder kids get new cars, expensive bags, ballet lessons, or any other treat they want. Each has their own room, and you can be sure that the fancy guest home belongs to Dayton and Aurora, two adults who should be making their own money by now. In contrast, Christine had to take Kody to court merely to get him to pay for Truly or Savannah, who didn't get anything in high school. Isabel didn't help her at all with her back surgery, something that every parent should pay attention to. And most of Kody's sons pay for college with money they earn from working in the military or with help from their parents. Let's be honest. The weird kids have been doing well for a long time. They also took care of Robin's kids without getting anything in return. And Kody says that Christine didn't give him anything. The money she put down. Christine's house was her safe haven, first and foremost. And second, Christine has already made it obvious that Kody won't get a penny from the sale. That's great for her. The truth is that none of the first wives owe Kody or Robin anything. Also, the adult children don't have to have a relationship with them, especially if it's clear that they're being exploited as emotional or financial pawns. And just when you think Kody can't get any worse, the sad moment after Garrison dies happens. You'd think that type of tragedy would make anyone more understanding. You'd think there would be some compassion or mercy between ex-spouses after a tragic loss. But no, Kody took their first chat after Garrison died as a chance to attack Janelle. Instead of grieving their son together, he blamed and assaulted her in a cold, aggressive way. "All you're doing is yelling at me," he yelled. "Yeah, I've got anger issues." And it hurt to see. Janelle has never tried to get in the way of Kody's connection with the kids, even when he didn't deserve it. She revered him as their father, and she's raised her kids with quiet strength, without drama or animosity. Kody still chose to be hostile, though. It told us more about him than it will ever teach us about her. Kody's reaction has been nothing short of horrible, even after losing his own son. Instead of taking a minute to think, be kind, or even just act like a nice person, he has doubled down on feeling entitled, angry, and blaming others. There was no humility, no grace, and no acknowledgement of the pain that others were going through, especially Janelle. For most of Garrison's audience, what they saw was not just a man grieving. He was a man who was fully focused on himself. Kody's persona fell off completely after all those years. And instead of that, something worse than self-pity and bitterness that would have been full of sadness and growth. Let's be honest, Garrison's death should have been a wake-up call, a new start. But Kody turned it into another part of the same bad cycle. He didn't think about how he could help his family. He put the blame on others. Robin was usually right next to him, and she gave out the same enthusiasm. No learning, no accountability, just more excuses. That brings us to Janelle, tough, unflappable, and done, when she said she never wanted to see Kody again. That wasn't a moment of drama. That was it. Whatever happened, it was probably at Garrison's funeral. They got so far beyond the line that they can't go back. There are even whispers going around that Kody wanted a piece of Garrison's fortune. If that's even a little bit plausible, it's more than gross. Let's be quite clear. Suicide is a terrible tragedy that has many layers, but it's also quite evident that Kody keeps saying no, controlling, and going down. Hey, look at this. And we all know I've been looking into which M I've been looking into that by M then gross. So let's be clear, suicide is uncertain with Clay, or with a quiet phrase. I've been like Clay to see if we see with C, and with Clank can weed with class, with the way we Clay. I do. I can, I with you. Garrison was in pain because his kids, especially his boys, were emotionally unavailable. This is how he still blames them. Garrison only ever knew Janelle Ho as a parent. That's not sadness. That's the best kind of narcissism. Part Kody, all of it on live TV, not even trying to look pleasant, helpful, or even human. Just plain bitterness. It made me feel bad to watch. He didn't only show who he was, he set fire to every remaining bridge on national TV. Let's talk about Kody's so-called model for shared spending now. It's a con, always has been. Kody makes it appear like he's this responsible. Family Guy sharing the bills fairly. But that's not what really happened. What he truly meant was that he was done with the OG wife's kids once they were grown up or moved away. But Robin's kids don't have that kind of luck. He still thinks the rest of the family should help pay for such bills. It's hard to believe how hypocritical it is, because Isabel and Savannah were still kids, and yet his legal responsibility. He was checked out both emotionally and financially. But when it comes to Saul and Ari, all of a sudden the duty to the kids is gospel. And you can be sure that Robin never had to worry about money when she joined the family. The Browns didn't just take her in. They paid for her bills, auto insurance, food, and even a place to live. Everything has been taken care of. Kody and Robin can say she didn't get paid for the show, but that's just semantics. The money came in either directly or through history.
Knowing that he's not with us, but then I realized I'm just gonna have to embrace that pain because it's never gonna go away. It's always gonna be there. There's always gonna be a Garrison-sized hole. And
When Robin got there, she got help with her money and subsequently became the center of Kody's world. The other family members had to take care of themselves. Kody's white automobile for sports. Oh, that wasn't meant for the family. That was his child. At the same time, his kids with Mary, Christine, and Janelle were having a hard time. And now, those women are meant to help Robin's kids. It's rude. And the most ironic thing of all is the original wives and kids. Those are the people who built the empire. Fans came to see them, not the new family that Kody and Robin tried to make us accept. It's okay if Kody and Robin want to live big, but don't ask for compassion. Don't ask for free stuff. And don't try to change the past, since we all saw it happen. Let's not pretend that Robin wasn't spoiled while the rest of the family drove around in ancient, broken-down cars. Robin was driving around town in a car that was virtually new. Come on, you honestly think she paid for that herself? Someone was paying for those things, and we all know it wasn't Robin. And what about the $30,000 that was purportedly stolen from the Jessup family? That wasn't just any change. That was money. Her ex-husband's family had to pay off her credit card debt that she had kept secret. Think about these hidden debts. Another family paying for things, and Robin coming into the Brown family with things that other people had paid for. Kody knew everything and didn't care. When he forced the family to move to Flagstaff, he didn't have anyone in mind other than Robin and the kids. He stated it was a smart financial decision, but it was truly a disaster. They stopped looking for homes and lost. Vegas paid too much rent in Arizona, and the residences in Vegas stayed on the market for a long time. The real reason was that Robin didn't like Vegas. Dayton had to go to school somewhere else, and Robin had to be with him, so the whole family moved for her. Kody made it sound like it was all about constructing a future for the whole family. That was not true. A clear, dishonest falsehood. Then there's the problem of college funding and child support. Kody claims he wants to help the younger kids, but he doesn't mean all of them. He is talking about Robin's kids. Not much, and you shouldn't even trust him when he has to start paying real support. All of a sudden, the pot is empty, but he still wants Christine, Janelle, and even Mary to keep helping out. Saul and Aries are alive. It's really silly, It's rude. Let's be clear about one thing. Following Kody's guidelines won't save your marriage. It hasn't and it won't. Mary is a living example. She did what Kody asked her to do. She acted like a good person. Sister wife rolled perfectly when Christine and Janelle were bickering over Robin's entrance. Mary welcomed her with wide arms. She wasn't just okay with it. She was helpful, encouraging, and even joyous. What did she get in return? Shame. Mary divorced Kody so he could marry Robin and adopt her kids. She gave up her rank, her job, and her identity for the sake of unity and sacrifice. She acted like it was her sacred duty. She was meant to be the best player in Kody's family game. But what did happen? Kody acted like she didn't exist. She was like a stray dog begging for bits of food from the table, while he calls Christine and Janelle unfaithful for wanting emotional closeness and real connection. Mary sat still. She stayed put. She hoped she had left the door open, even though it was clear that Kody had slammed it shut. So what did he do? He didn't talk to her anymore. He made her look like a sad, needy ex who just couldn't take a hint. Kody then looked into the cameras with a heart of ice and said the words no one will ever forget. I don't really see myself as married to Mary in that way. There was no shame or respect in admitting that he had emotionally left her years ago, but kept her around for appearances. So, tell me again, why would anyone defend this guy? Years of dedication, and Mary got nothing but cold shoulders and broken dreams. No sympathy, just harsh rejection, mixed with Kody's ego madness. And then there was the famous land saga, which was the last straw. All of her hard work and loyalty over the years didn't matter all of a sudden. Why? Because she only had one kid. That's all. That was why Kody twisted the logic till it broke again to save Robin. It's not a strategy for the whole family. It's a plan for Robin. It always has been. None of it makes sense. Just changing the rules all the time to make Robin happy. Want proof that Robin has everything? The marriage, the emotional closeness, the biggest mansion, the only access, and yet she's the one who always cries on TV. It seems like she's the biggest victim. She talks like she's in a polygamous relationship. It was what she wanted. Christine, Janelle, and Mary were out here attempting to make the multiple family work. In fact, Robin earned the ideal package for sharing a husband. No sharing, no fighting, just front row tickets to Kody's full attention. Then Kody has the nerve to sit there and declare, I feel like I've been kicked out of my own club. Excuse me? What? He set the club on fire. He spent all of his money on Robin's Ventures' gaudy, expensive trinkets. He changed all the regulations on the fly, no matter what else she was doing with her time, like gaudy art ventures. And then, when everyone else was gone, he sat in the ruins like he was the one who had been hurt. Kody, you didn't get kicked out. You were the first to go. Mary, the excellent sister wife, accomplished everything by the book. She grinned. She was behind. She gave up her official marriage so that Kody may marry Robin. She was the model. And what did she get? Turned down, thrown away, and thrown on the curb. And even after taking all the safety precautions, Robin still said no when she tried to visit during Co. Why it wouldn't be fair to the other wives? Come on. That had nothing to do with fairness. That was about having power. Let's be honest. Mary was not welcomed by Robin. Did that once. Kody gladly signed. Thus, the fairness argument was a useful lie.